All right, the stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. We are giving this streaming thing another shot to see if we can't get the streaming setup going properly so I can stream more often. That is the hope anyway. So we are going to test some Diana Stanley deck tonight against a couple of different scenarios. We're set up here in Octagon. We're going to give Diana Stanley a try against Curtain Call to start off with, and then probably the Untamed Wilds as well. So we're going to play a couple games. Depending on how much time, we'll see how things go. This is the deck that I am interested in playing. I'm thinking of playing this deck for my Circle Undone playthroughs that will be coming out shortly. I was hoping to be able to do them blind, but unfortunately my initial recording attempts were fraught with mistakes, both technical and mechanic-wise. So the Witching Hour will not be a blind playthrough. Hopefully at Death's Door will still be. So this Diana Stanley deck here, we'll just take a quick look at it. It is based on a deck by Doc Leo over at Arkham DB. And we've got flashlights in there for clues. We've got guns, we've got machetes. We've got a couple copies of Shriveling, just in case we are able to get to Diana's her willpower high enough. We've got lots of cards, such as Dark Prophecy, Ward of Protection, and Deny Existence to boost her willpower. Drawn to the Flame for clues. St. Hubert's Key is in there, and David Renfield and Emergency Cash. So we have lots of resources to play all these very, very expensive cards. So hopefully it will all go well. We'll give it a try, see what happens here. Haven't drawn a weakness, so I'm going to do that now. We'll shuffle it up and see what we get. We are playing with Amnesia. Discard all but one card in your hand. That should be interesting to deal with. We do start the game with Dark Insight in our hand. And we, of course, start at the theater. It's a two-shroud location with 0 clues. We will be trying to gather all the clues. We'll probably have to kill the Royal Emissary probably twice, maybe 3 times this game. So we're going to need a lot of weapons, lots of charges, and a machete would certainly help. He is a tough cookie, though, at 4 fight, so he will be tough to kill until we get our willpower up and we have a couple shriveling charges on our side. We will, I think we'll draw our opening hand. We'll just see how things go here. And, oops, that's the wrong one. There we go. Okay, we've got a 45 automatic, a dodge, a terrible secrets, a amnesia, and drawn to the flame. We'll get rid of our weaknesses. Draw 2 more. There's a shriveling. That's nice. And a prepared for the worst. We probably don't need the prepared for the worst if we've got our gun and a shriveling. We've also got a dodge. That we can stack under Diana Stanley. And probably want to keep all the weapons. What am I missing? Ward of Protection would be nice, or a Deny Existence. We'll just draw 1. Oh, we get another gun. Look at that. Wow, we're fully loaded here. Shuffle those back into the deck. We'll see how things go here. All right, we've got a couple cancels. We've got Dark Insight. We've got Dodge. Oh, that's what's missing. Right, we're missing Resource Generation. That will be fairly important with a gun and a shriveling there to deal with, as well as all the other cards that cost resources. So let us start this off by... what do we play first? Shriveling won't do us much good because we have a 1 willpower. So let's pay 4 resources for a gun. Let's get some actions first here so I don't forget. Pay an action for that. We will get our gun. It will have 4 ammo on it. That's pretty much all we can do there. So we will use our second action to move to backstage. Backstage being a 3 shroud location with 1 clue, and it has the forced effect when it is revealed. We put 2 set aside backstage doorway locations in play at random, and while we are at the backstage, hidden treachery in your hand counts as 3 cards instead of 1. Those, of course, are those whispers in your head. We will shuffle these up a couple times. There's 1 doorway, and there's the other. So we have 2 to start. And we shall see how things look here. All right. Yeah, I haven't streamed in probably more than a year at this point, and I would like to get into doing more of it because I do tend to play a lot, and if I'm playing, other players can learn from it. So we shall see how we go here. We are at the backstage. It has 1 clue and a 3 shroud. So we have... I would like to save that drawn to the flame. Are there any locations that have 2 clues on them? I can't remember, but there are locations in the lobby area that are really tough to get, like 5 shroud locations. So we'll save that drawn to the flame. I think we'll just go 3 versus 3. See what the chaos bag says. -3. So no such luck. No clues for us. We will... That was the investigation phase. We'll do the enemy phase. Nothing happens. During upkeep, there is a copy of Deny Existence. Nice to see that in case we draw our weakness and we need to cancel that. Deny Existence, of course, can't cancel Terrible Secrets, but it can ignore it, which is an important distinction. So, let us... we've gained our resource, so we might as well go to the Mythos phase. First Mythos phase of the game is going to be... Oh, there is a Fanatic. Unfortunately, we do not have... We only have... 1. He goes spawn revealed location with most clues. We only have 1 location with a clue. After he enters play, move 1 clue from Fanatic's location to the Fanatic, so this clue goes away. Unfortunately, we need 3 clues in order to advance, so we will... If we kill the Fanatic, we get his clues. He's 3 fight, 2 health, and 3 evade. We are currently 4 fight with our 45 automatic. So we will go on to turn 2 and see what happens. We will take our first action, I think, and shoot at the Fanatic. I don't have anything I can commit to that, unfortunately. So we will just go 4 versus 3. Chaos Bag gives us a -1. That will be enough. So he will take 2 damage, and we will gain that clue. So actually that worked out okay for us because we didn't have to investigate, which is not one of our... I mean, we've got a 3 intellect. That's pretty good, but not fantastic. So let's move... That was our first action. We'll just go to one of these backstage doorway locations. One of them has rats under... Yeah, we got the rats one. So the trap room is a 3 shroud location with 1 clue, and after you reveal it, you have to search the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 copy of Swarm of Rats and put it into play engaged with you. 2 copies if you're playing with 3 or 4 investigators. It's worth a victory point. Let's go get ourselves some rats. All cards. Where's our rats? There's some rats right there. Okay, rats are easy to kill. We have one action remaining. We will take it. We will go 3 versus 1. Chaos Bag gives us another -1. So those rats are dead. Okay, not bad. That was the investigation phase. Enemy phase, there's nothing to worry about. Upkeep phase, we get a copy of Perception and a resource. That's nice. We could probably use that Perception to grab this clue and then draw a card. We do have 3 resources now, so we can get the Shriveling into play. That would be awfully nice. So welcome everybody who is tuning in. Glad that you could make it tonight. This is a sort of an impromptu stream just to test out the gear and see if it still works. Haven't streamed in a while and would like to do more of it. So where were we now? Oh, right, we're at the upkeep phase. Okay, so we need to go to the Mythos phase. 2 of 6 Doom. Our encounter card is going to be, there is the Poltergeist. Okay, that is going to be 3 fight, 2 health, and 4 evade. Cannot be damaged except by spells, relics, or encounter cards. Now, we could... We're not really set up to deal with the Poltergeist. We could parlay with it, but that only deals 1 damage. I don't really want to do that. I'm going to place a card. I'm going to use Dark Insight on that. We're not really set up for it. So Dark Insight will cancel the card. When we draw an encounter card, we get to shuffle it back into the deck, and we don't have to draw an encounter card. So we will say goodbye to that Poltergeist. Because we use Diana's special ability, we do get a resource and a card. So we spend 2 resources, then we get 1 back, and we get a card, which is going to be Dark Prophecy. That's another card that we can use to cancel, or that we can stack underneath Diana. So we will hopefully be using that. We want to get a clue. We should probably also think about getting our Shriveling down sooner than later. Haven't seen my St. Hubert's Key or my copy of Alyssa to boost my intellect at all. So let's use the Perception on this skill test. Let's gain our actions first off. 3 actions. We'll first do an intellect skill test. So we are at 5 versus 3. Chaos Bag gives us an Elder Sign. Oh, that's very interesting indeed, because that's a +2, and we get to choose a card beneath Diana Stanley and add it to our hand. Do I want the Dark Insight back? I think I do. I will take it back. Just because it can cancel enemies, which is great. So we get rid of the Perception, we draw a card, there's a Flashlight. Okay, that's helpful. That's really our only way of getting extra clues at this point. So we do succeed with that skill test, and we grab a clue. And we will go from there. I really need 2 monitors. That's what I need. That would be fantastic. That way I can look at chat as well. I have my other computer set up here so I can see chat. If anybody has anything to say, or if you have any questions, just fire away. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. That was our first action, so we're going to use 2 more actions. We're just going to move to this backstage doorway. Oh, of course, it's the dressing room. That's the 4-shroud location with 0 clues. That's bad news for us because that means we're going to have to crisscross this theater at least once, possibly twice, in order to get the clues we need. We're still 1 clue shy. Okay, so that was our turn. That was the investigation phase. Nothing for enemies. Upkeep. We've got to discard a card now. We've got another copy of Deny Existence. Boy, that's a tough choice. We've got a ton of cards to stack. I think I'm going to get rid of the 45 automatic. That'll be the upkeep. So we'll throw a Doom on there. 3 of 6. Of course, when we hit 6, the Royal Emissary will be out, so we need to be ready for him. Our encounter card this turn is going to be Twisted to His Will. If there is no Doom in play, Twisted to His Will gains Surge. Otherwise, test X willpower, where X is the amount of Doom in play. If you fail, discard 2 cards at random from your hand. So we are testing 3, willpower 3, and we are willpower 1. If we fail, we can discard 2 cards from our hand. We can deny existence that if we want. We may lose a card anyway, so we'll just take the skill test straight up. We get a 0, so we do fail, but I'm going to play Deny Existence to cancel the effects. And because we denied existence, we get a willpower, we get a resource, and a card. So we get an emergency cache. Okay, good stuff. That will give us some more resources to play around with. So far, we are doing okay. We do need to prepare, though, for the Royal Emissary, because he will be a big thorn in our side. We get our 3 actions. I think what I'm going to do is move twice to the theater, and then I'm going to use my final action to play my Shriveling. So we are fully armed. That'll be 3 resources, and we get 4 charges. And that'll be our turn, just like that. Investigation, no enemies. Upkeep, we draw another flashlight. Okay, we may want to think about getting one of those down. We do have Deny Existence. Actually, I realized when I was playing this deck earlier, the nice interaction between Dark Insight and Drawn to the Flame, where you can Drawn to the Flame and then play Dark Insight to shuffle that card away, so you don't have to deal with the encounter card. That was the upkeep phase. We will go and add a Doom. And we'll draw an encounter card. There is Dissonant Voices. Put it into play. No assets or events for us. Not going to cancel that. Don't really have anything to cancel it with, mind you. So we will gain our 3 actions. Easiest way to get a clue here is to head up to the balcony. That'll take us 2 actions. So we go through the lobby first off. Don't want to get ahead of myself. It's a 4-shroud location with 1 clue. And when it is revealed, we put 2 set-aside lobby doorway locations. So we will shuffle those up, throw those into play. Okay, we've got 2 lobbies. Next action, we will move up to the balcony. Actually, no, we already used the action. I took an action off preemptively. 2-shroud location with 1 clue. The lobby, of course, we can jump off the balcony, or sorry, the balcony. We can jump off the balcony to take 2 damage to move to the theater. I've actually done that sometimes. It's saves you an action, so if you've got the extra health and you don't mind losing it, it can save you an action. So we do have 1 action remaining. I could get the flashlight down. When's he coming? He's coming soon. So we're going to have to use our gun on the Royal Emissary. That's not great. I have 2 copies of Steadfast in this deck. I cut the Guts and the Overpower because I needed deck space, and I thought maybe Steadfast would be a good alternative. I am not entirely sure whether... I've actually played a few games now, and I haven't seen it. So I don't know if it's going to work out quite the way I want. Do I play the flashlight? I'd get 1 resource back. I still have a deny existence. I think... Actually, I'm going to emergency cash. We'll do that instead. We have to take this slow because we're going to have to kill the Royal Emissary probably at least twice. And so we'll wait for him. We'll get this clue, and then we'll probably have to kill the Emissary. And then we'll go after the man in the pallid mask once he pops out. That's our turn. No enemies to speak of. Still... Upkeep, we draw a Ward of Protection. Okay, that's another card we can stack beneath Diana and boost her willpower. Dissonant Voices goes away. Yeah, I couldn't play the flashlight anyway. Dissonant Voices would stop that. So no harm, no foul there. I think we're done. So we'll just add a Doom. Turn 6. Encounter card. Oh, Rotting Remains. So test 3 willpower. For each point we fail by, we take a horror. We're only a 2 right now. And taking horror is not great because it turns those skulls into -3s, and we don't want to do that. We have a couple options, though. We can deny existence it, which would be good, or we can Ward of Protection it, but then we take a horror. Let's just test. We'll just go straight up. I think we're just gonna... Oh, we got -1. So we would take 2 horror, or we can take no horror if we play Deny Existence, which we will do. So that card, Deny Existence, one of the really, really good card that came out in the Circle Undone. Fantastic. We do gain a resource and another card back for that. There is Alyssa. A little bit of intellect. Depends whether we're going to try to... if I got Alyssa out and St. Hubert's Key, I can get... I can boost her intellect quite high. I'm not sure I can boost it high enough, though, to defeat the man in the pallid mask with that investigation action. Okay. Yeah, okay. That draw was from our illicit move there. All right, we get 3 actions. So we know the Royal Emissary is coming sooner than later. We've got 7 resources, so we have some choices here. Alyssa would help us soak some horror, and it gives us some deck manipulation. And it gives us an intellect, so we'd be at 4 versus 2. That's pretty good. We may not need the flashlight, because we only really need one clue, I think. So let's bring out Alyssa. She may actually help us here. Okay, so we've got Alyssa. We might as well start using Alyssa. Now, I'm a little worried about Terrible Secrets, because it will cost us 2 horror, I believe. But we have Alyssa out, so that's okay. Actually, we've got 3 willpower. So our willpower is creeping up slowly. We need it to be, well, if we're going to try to kill this Royal Emissary, as high as possible, because obviously shriveling doesn't give us any pluses. So as our second action, we can investigate here. So we're a 4 versus 2. I like those odds. Chaos Bag doesn't. Chaos Bag gives us a tentacle. Our first tentacle of the game. Always good to see those. All right. Well, let's, before we do another investigate, let's use Alyssa's ability. Let's take a peek at the, encounter deck. We are getting some rats this turn. That's fine. We're not going to shuffle that. So we know what we're getting. That ability to check the top card of the encounter deck is fantastic. I love when I can get Alyssa down and just peek from time to time, especially when you've got actions remaining and you have some choices that you can make. So I guess we'll just investigate again. 4 versus 2. Chaos Bag says +1 this time. So we will grab that clue. All right, we've got the clues we need to bring out the man in the pallid mask. However, is there any disadvantage to doing that? I don't think there is, actually. I don't think there is any disadvantage to bringing him out. So we will go... That was the investigation phase. We will use the player window at the end of the enemy phase to spend our clues to flip over our act. It is Act 1B, his final bow, so we choose one of the set-aside locations at random and put it into play and spawn the man in the pallid mask there. So let's hide these from me. Shuffle them up. And he is appearing. Oh, crap. Yeah, so we're going to have to trek. We're going to have to go on a little trek across the map back to the backstage doorway. Now, the nice thing is, this location has a very low shroud. I believe it is a 1 shroud location, in fact. Which means with the man in the pallid mask investigate, we just need +2 shroud. So it'll be a 3. So that is a possibility. We may not have to kill him. We may be able to just investigate this location and move him. I don't have any movement cards in my deck, though, so that's a bit of a problem. That was the enemy phase. We will go to upkeep. Upkeep gives us a vicious blow. Okay, that's very welcome indeed. It's a very welcome sight, especially with the Royal Emissary coming out. The question here is whether we jump off the balcony. Because he's going to appear at the theater. We jump off the balcony. We get 2. We take 2 damage, which is, we've got 7. So that's okay. And then we take 2 actions to kill the guy. Unfortunately, the vicious blow doesn't really help us. We could... He is pretty easy to evade. We could soak the horror for a while. We do have Alyssa and 7 sanity, which is 10, which would give us... How much damage? He does 2 damage though, so we can't... We have 1 dodge we could use. You know, maybe we just tank this guy for a turn. Because if we dodge him, we place the dodge underneath Diana, so she'll be a 4 then. Yeah, the problem is that that vicious blow just doesn't help us because we have to use 2 shots from the gun anyway, regardless. The vicious blow gets us a plus, so we'd be 5 versus 4. Not a great choice here. Alright, well, he's coming out. Okay, we have to do this random act thing first before I forget. Okay, let's pull out our random act 2s. Shuffle those up. Pull that one out, that one there, and we will get rid of this. Alright, so we go to our random Act 2A. And we are ready to go to the Mythos phase. So we add a Doom. 6 of 6, we flip it, and it is Agenda 1B, the Emissary's message. We bring out the Emissary to the theater. And we advance to Agenda 2A Encore. We've got 6 Doom, but if we put the Royal Emissary in the victory display, we remove all Doom from play and reset back to Agenda 1A with 3 Doom. So now we've got a question. We have to draw a card first. There are the rats. We knew they were coming. Okay. 3 actions. We will three actions. And I'm not seeing the chat. Hi, Ben. Sorry I missed your message there. No, you're not late. This is just a very impromptu stream. We're playing Diana Stanley, testing just for just testing Diana Stanley, the deck that I'm going to play through the Circle Undone cycle. Wanted to get a few more test games in, and so that's what we're doing. We're playing Curtain Call right now. Probably play Untamed Wild next, depending on how the time goes. We've got our swarm of rats to deal with, however. So we are 3 versus 1. Chaos Bag gives us a skull. That's a -1, so the rats are dead. Okay. Okay, we cannot kill the Emissary this turn. We could move to the lobby. If we move to, or if we wait for the Emissary to move, okay, so if the Emissary moves to the lobby, we jump down to the theater. We'd have to wait a turn. 1, 2, 3 to the backstage doorway, clear the man, and then have to get back and deal with the Royal Emissary on the way. So maybe we only have to deal with him once this game. Kill him on the way back, then deal with the man here. That seems like the plan I am going with at the moment. We shall see how it goes. All right. We have a couple actions, though. We can't really do anything with them. Let's use Alyssa. Let's see what the encounter deck has in store for us. Top card. Oh, there's that poltergeist again. Okay, well we can Dark Insight that and get rid of it. I mean, we could kill it with our shriveling, but I'm not interested in doing that at the moment. Dark Insight can get rid of that, and we will boost our willpower up to 4. So hopefully, maybe what the plan is we boost, if we can play a couple more cards underneath Diana as we get to the backstage doorway, and then hit the Royal Emissary on the way back with a 6 willpower, so we can use our shriveling on him rather than the gun. We still have 2 actions, though. I'd love the Twilight Blade. However, yeah, let's draw a card. Don't really need resources right now. There is a Steadfast. Okay, that is helpful. Much more helpful than the Drawn to the Flame I've currently got in my hand. So that was 1. Do we just keep drawing? Well, if we draw a Dark Secret, we're... Oh, we do have Amnesia in our deck. Right. That is bad news. With Deny Existence, we could deal with Amnesia. Unfortunately, we do not. We need to draw another Elder Sign at some point in the proceedings. Yeah, she is... she's one of my favorites too, Ben. She is really quite... I've been quite impressed with the games I've played with her so far. I do like this mechanic of stashing cards underneath her, and it gets... I like when you can get the Twilight Blade out as well. Too bad it's just 1 per deck. We've got an action. I'm just going to take a resource because I don't want to draw any more cards. That stupid Amnesia will trigger, and... Oh, we've got Dark Insight for that too. So we do have the counter to Amnesia in our hand. So that's helpful. Let's go. Investigation, enemy, the Royal Emissary will move here, and then at the end of the enemy phase, we take a horror, which will go on... not a doom. It will go on her, on Alyssa. And then we will go to upkeep. We draw our other copy of Shriveling. We've got to get rid of a card. We don't need the Drawn to the Flame anymore. Okay, so that's that. Mythos phase, add a doom, draw a card. There is the Poltergeist. Now, the question is, if we use our Dark Insight on that, we are wide open to getting amnesia'd. I could kill the Poltergeist. Poltergeist dies to 1 shriveling shot, but we're still only at... We do have a steadfast, though. Sort of like to save that. Lots of options. Man, oh man. I could also use Alyssa to check my own deck to see if Amnesia's coming up. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna Dark Insight this thing. So I don't want to have to deal with an enemy right now. I guess we're vulnerable to drawing an Amnesia here, so if I draw Amnesia here, it's just bad play on my part. We will... Is it a May? Oh, no, it is a must. So we shuffle this back into the deck. We gain a resource, and we draw a card. No Amnesia. Okay. Another Drawn to the Flame. Okay, that is a relief, because now we can use... Alyssa to check our deck. David Renfield is on top. Okay, that's good. We will use 1 action to jump off the balcony and take 2 damage. We will use 2 more actions to move over here to this backstage doorway, which is going to be the rehearsal room, 1 shroud location with 1 clue. It's worth a victory point, and the man is there, so we can investigate that at a 3, and it'll be a 4 versus 3 to defeat the man there. That's pretty good, so we don't have to actually shoot him with anything. And we did get away from the Royal Emissary, so we don't take a damage this enemy phase. Which it is now. He will move. I haven't looked... I've looked at Enchanted Blade. I haven't actually considered it yet for this deck, just because... I'm focused on the level 0 version at the moment, to be perfectly honest. I'm just trying to get this deck to get a feel for how it plays and get it working properly, and then we'll look at... I think Enchanted Blade, it has the 3 charges, and you get the +1 damage. So, yeah, it's definitely an option for her. It seems custom made for her, actually, so I would probably... I have 2 machetes in the deck at the moment. I'm not sure if I need them. I haven't drawn one in all the test games, and I haven't needed it either. So we are at 4 willpower now. We have to go to the upkeep. There's David. We have to discard a card. Drawn to the Flame will go. We don't need it. And do I have... I do have a ward. So if I cancel that card, I won't be able to see... I'm going to use Alyssa during the upkeep. I want to know what this card is. It is an evidence. Okay. Defeat the man in the pallid mask. I think we could play evidence to grab this clue. Let me look at that again. I need to look at what evidence does. I believe that would work. After you defeat an enemy, discover a clue. Okay. So... Not sure if we need it, though. It's only a one shroud location. We're not going to... Well, we'd probably succeed by 2 or more here. We'd have to engage the... Oh, no, we don't have to engage the man. We just have to investigate. Okay, so if we... we're still in the mythos phase. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Draw an encounter card first. Let's start with that. Ah, the Spires, my favorite card. Spires. Spires of Carcosa attached to your location. It has 2 doom. Well, that changes our plans a little bit. If there is no doom, we get to get rid of it. Oh, we may need to cancel that. Yeah, we need to cancel that. We do not have time for that sort of nonsense. Okay, so we will Ward of Protection that. And that actually gets us our evidence. So we lose a resource, gain a resource, draw a card. We are up to 5 willpower now. All right. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, we canceled the Spires. Okay. We need to take a horror, which Alyssa will gladly take for us. Okay, so we need to defeat the man, play our evidence to grab the clue, and then wait for the Royal Emissary to come, and then we kill him next turn. Problem is we're going to have to slog our way through this building to get there. Well, let's try to defeat the man in the pallid mask. We are going 4 versus 3. We can go 5 versus 3, 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3. Chaos Bag says Skull. That's a -1. So we are successful, and we defeat the man in the pallid mask. When we defeat him, we will play our evidence to discover a clue. Now things get interesting. Okay. 5. So the man in the pallid mask is defeated. We advance. Act 2A to 2B. The path is mine. It is the... Are we on fire? Oh, it's the ooze. Oh, it's the tablet. It's terrible. Tablet is the worst. We need a couple of tablets to add to the chaos bag. We need 2 of them. Okay, so we add those to the chaos bag. And man in the pallid mask goes to the lobby. Place 1 horror on the location he was moved from. It represents the advancing ooze, and each location with horror gains force after you leave this location. Test for agility. If you fail, take a horror and a damage. Oh, this is going to be a real slog to get there. That is going to be a real slog. That's why I always pack astral travel for this scenario. Not this time. We are just going to have to deal with this the old-fashioned way and walk there. Might be worthwhile, actually. I think what we need to do is actually move. That was our first action. Actually, the nice thing about the ooze is that we can get, it doesn't stop us from moving. So we'll test 4, we'll probably fail, and then we take a damage and a horror, and then we just move to the emissary. We cancel his attack with dodge. That sets us up for a 6 willpower attack next turn. 2 attacks, he's dead. We move, we kill the man in the pallid mask, and everything is golden. That's the plan anyway. So let's move. We have to test 4 willpower, 4 agility. There's a tablet. Oh, I think those are even worse. If your location has at least 1 horror, take a horror. Okay. What's the timing on that? After you leave this location. Okay. So does the horror go on? Does the horror go on the rehearsal room or the backstage, since this is pulled after we leave? I am not sure. That is a weird issue. So I think we will play it the hard way, and we'll make it come to this location here, the location we are at. So it's a -4, and if your location has at least 1 horror on it, take a horror. Oh, we don't take a horror, but we add a horror. Okay, so we take a damage and a horror because of this silly thing. Okay. And then because of the tablet, we have to place a horror. Okay, so that's not great, but we have to keep moving, and then we're gonna take 3 of these. That sucks. That tablet really hurt. So we will move there. We have to test again. It's not the... Oh, and we auto-fail that one. Well, I guess auto-fail is better than the tablet. So we take another damage and another horror. We are at 4 damage and 2 horror. Okay. We move this aside. We get the next one. We know what it is. Okay. So we need to defeat the man in the pallid mask so we can resign. Yeah, this tablet ooze thing is really hurting us now. We go to the enemy phase. I believe that was the investigation. Enemy phase, the Royal Emissary attacks us, but we will dodge that attack. And we get to place the dodge underneath us. So we are now at 5, and we're going to take a horror from him. Yeah, we can't really avoid turning on the skulls, can we? I'm going to save Alyssa for the next. We're going to have to move to the lobby anyway and take a damage and a horror. I'll save Alyssa for that one. Okay, we haven't. We get a card and a resource from Diana's ability. There's St. Hubert's Key. That's a bit late. Oh, actually. Yeah, I think it's a bit late. Well, if we could play it, that would reduce our sanity by 2, but then we could heal 2 horror if we're defeated. Probably not going to happen. Okay, so we took the damage, and we took the horror from the emissary. We go to upkeep. We get a machete. Okay, so the machete doesn't help us right now. So we just go to Mythos, I guess. We are all out of cancels, so whatever we face, we're going to have to face. It's rats. Love the rats. Okay. So we've got some rats to deal with here. And the Royal Emissary. So we can kill both of those. If we kill the rats and the emissary, we're not going to be able to move this turn. Oh, during the, yeah, we got to put a bunch of these horrors all over the place. We've got to put one there, there. Yeah, or basically our trip to the lobby is just nothing but ooze. Fortunately, we only have to move one more time, which will not be this turn, unfortunately, because we've got to kill these rats first off. So we will go, we're 3 versus 1. Let's shoot the rats. Why not? We'll blow the rats away. We will go 4 versus 1. We get another tablet. Oh, that hurts. Damn, those tablets hurt in this one at the end. So we were 4 versus 1. We're at 0 versus 1 now. And we take a horror. Son of a... hate those tablets. Okay, well now we cannot deal with... We may have to take this a little bit slower. We could always play David Renfield if we need to soak some more damage. Let's kill the Royal Emissary. He's the bigger danger. Probably should have taken him first. I mean, rats are supposed to be so easy, but... Okay, we are gonna shrivel him. We are 6 versus 4. I think our steadfast is basically useless at this point. 5 or more total remaining health and sanity. I have 6. Okay, so the steadfast is actually still useful. So it's a 2. It's worth 2. So we are 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 4. That takes the tablet out of the picture. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so he takes 2 damage. Not 2 clues, 2 damage. Okay. And then we need to hit him one more time. We will go 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 4. Again. Oh, we get an Elder Sign. Nice. Nice. Okay, what do we do? We have so many choices. I need to remove that. We can grab our Dark Insight back. That protects us from that, from amnesia. No. We can use Deny Existence will do the same thing. Deny Existence can protect us from that. and our weakness, among other things. Okay, so the Royal Emissary is defeated. He goes away. So we reset this deck. Where is my... So we go back to 3 Doom. All right. So we have reset to Agenda 3A or 1A with 3 Doom on it. During the enemy phase, we're going to take a down. Our willpower is down to 5. We take a damage during the enemy phase from those stupid rats that we should have killed. I still want to be able to use Alyssa's full thing for the move. It's going to be close. Very close. There's the Twilight Blade. Okay, so we get the Twilight Blade. Yeah, I know, Ben, that yeah, Dark Prophecy would be good. Good if if all the skulls and tablets weren't -3s and -4s right now. We've got, so that was the upkeep. So we have to do Mythos. Whispers in your head, dread. You cannot move more than once each turn. That is fine. I am not planning to move more than once each turn. Okay, swarm of rats. It's you and me. We will try to kill the swarm of rats with the gun. We have 2 shriveling charges for the man. Do we have any other icons? I could use the Twilight Blade. No. Just with the gun. Oh, we need... Yeah. That's the... Oh, we've got a machete. What am I talking about? Okay, so we use the machete. So we go 3, 4, 5 versus 1. That will protect us from the tablets. Skull 2. That's that also helps. So the rats are dead. We have to move. And we have to test 4. We fail, so Diana dies to the effects of this stupid ooze. This has... I presume everything has horror on it at this point. What else do we do? Now, do we... Do we have the time? If we don't engage the man in the pallid mask this turn, we go up to 5 of 6. Yeah, we can't do it because we can't resign. We can't engage him. We could kill him in one shot. We could prevent his damage with Deny Existence. But we could also... we would have willpower 5 versus 4. pitch the Twilight Blade. Got a lot of... Maybe we just try to shoot him with the gun once. What's our gun? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 4. I'm going to engage him. Might be a risk, but we're going to engage him. I can take the horror when he attacks. There we go. And that's that. Aha, there is amnesia, and that is why we have deny existence. Deny existence will... oh, it's only... Oh, I took the wrong card. Oh, shoot. Well, that was my mistake. I should have taken... I thought deny existence protected me. It's an encounter... Oh, no. Weaknesses are encounter cards. What am I talking about? It does work. So I will deny existence of amnesia. Actually, that goes underneath me. I will gain a resource and draw a card. Another vicious blow. Oh, now I can shoot him with the gun. One shot with the gun should be enough. All right. Okay, we're back up to 6 willpower, but we're probably going to use the gun on this guy because we've got a lot of combat icons in our hand. That was the upkeep. If we can survive this Mythos phase, we're in good shape. We add a Doom and draw an encounter card. Dissonant Voices cannot play assets or events. That is fine by me. Get our 3 actions. We're going to shoot him. We are going 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think there's a -5 in the bag, so we've trumped the bag at this point. We're going 8 versus 4. See what the Chaos Bag says. Oh my god, I can't believe it! Oh, Jesus. Chaos Bag! 1 token! There was only 1 token. Oh. There was only 1 bloody token in the bag that could have hosed me. And it did. Well... We still have we still have our 2 shriveling charges, but we don't have much we can boost it with. And we're going to need both shots. Or this game, man, just 50, how many tokens are in the bag? 17 tokens. There was 1 token in the bag of 17. And we pull it. I hate RNG in this game. Alright, well, now we're going to have to make 2 checks at particularly bad odds. We will use a shriveling token. So we are going 6 versus 4. Chaos Bag says 0. Oh, we can't resign this turn. We can't resign with the man. That token totally screwed us. We cannot resign and have the Royal Emissary in the victory display because he's going to come out. Now we could try to kill him again. That's always a possibility. and then resign. Although I've got to move through the ooze. I'd have to move through the ooze. Ah, man. One pull. One stupid little pull. Alright, we're going to go 6 versus 4 again. Chaos Bag says another 0. Well, there you go. So the man in the pallid mask is defeated. Unfortunately, we have no actions remaining to resign this turn. So the Royal Emissary is going to come back and haunt us. I tried, Ben. I tried. I tried to shoot him dead. He should be dead. He should have been dead. The Chaos Bag had other things in mind. Okay, so that's our investigation phase. There's no enemies. We do another David Renfield. I mean, maybe we play another Shriveling and try to kill the we could play Renfield, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to just try to kill him again. We don't have to... We can resign whenever we want. So we will discard the Dissonant Voices. And we will add a Doom. And we advance again. Oh, this game should be over. Search the set-aside cards for the Emissary. Come back. Come back. Okay. Alright, well. That's that. You have to draw an encounter card. We're all out of cancels. Spirit's Torment attached to your location. You must either... If we're leaving, we're not leaving this location. Of all the encounter cards, that's a pretty good one to get right now. We get our 3 actions. We got to spend some of these resources here. We're going to spend 2 for Renfield. We're going to spend 3 for another Shriveling. Now, if I was playing it safe, I could resign at this point and be quite happy. I would only get 1, 2, 3 victory points. If I was going to play it safe, I could take the 3 victory points and call it a day, but we're going to try to kill this guy. We're going to try to kill him. We've got 1 action remaining. We don't want to draw a card. 12 cards in our deck, and we haven't seen secrets yet, which will kill us. If we draw terrible secrets now, we just die straight out. So we'll just take a resource. Enemy phase. Emissary moves. He kills David. He kills David. Then I take a horror. We could die any number of ways here. Yeah, this is... Because if we die, we take a trauma. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That was the enemy phase. We get an Alyssa and a resource. Let's just go right to the enemy phase, or the Mythos phase. Another Spirit's Torment. Wow. Okay, well, if I was playing it safe, I could resign right now and I would get my 3 victory points. We're just going to play it out for the sake of interest to see what would happen, rather than, because I only have 1 sanity left. If I draw any special tokens, I die to my own shriveling. So obviously resigning at this point is probably best, but we're just going to play it out and see what happens. We are going 6 versus 4. Chaos Bag says 0. That's 2 damage. Got 1 more shot. We have 1 action left. What does the Chaos Bag say? Live or die? We die. We kill the Royal Emissary, but we die doing it. So, yeah, there you go. So resigning would have been the smart move. And we wouldn't have actually hit him anyway, because we were only, that's a -3. So, yeah, resigning would have been the best play there. So, really an unfortunate turn of events there for Diana at the end. We should have had that game in the bag, and unfortunately we just pull a tentacle at the wrong time, and we end up in an endgame situation, which is not ideal because we're leaving victory points on the table, unable to kill that Royal Emissary without killing ourselves. So resigning is definitely the best option there. I just played it out to see what would happen, and sure enough we would have died to our own shriveling, which is what I expected to happen. So, very happy with how this deck is performing so far. She is a slow burn. To get her up to that 6 willpower, it tends to take most of the game. Depending on how many Elder Signs you draw and how many cards you pull back to your hand with Diana's special ability. Deny Existence, awesome card. Dark Insight has a great is another great card. Also helps with Drawn to the Flame. I love that it can cancel enemy encounter cards. Just shuffle those away if you're not ready for another enemy. Really good. Not sure whether I need the machete in my deck or not. I seem to be able to get enough weapons on the table between the 2 copies of the 45 automatic and the shriveling. That's 4 plus the Twilight Blade. That's 5. So that tends to give us enough weapons. So maybe the machete has to come out. We'll see about that. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, it was a good playthrough. Just that unfortunate twist at the end where I'm not sure how we would have done with a different Act 2 as well. That ooze really hit us hard. I mean, we had hardly taken any damage in horror throughout the scenario and then we suddenly we're taking 1 every time we move. So that'll do it for the curtain call. I'm going to set things up again here, and we will play... let's give Untamed Wilds a shot. I'm curious to see how we do in that scenario. Untamed Wilds a little tougher. Doesn't really favor slower investigators. I find that Mystics in particular, when I was playing Father Mateo through the Untamed Wilds, he was just a little too slow. Some games he'd have an amazing game and he would walk away with maximum victory points, but I probably played that scenario a dozen times with him, and that happened maybe twice. And the rest of the time he really struggled to make it through. So let's reset and play some more. Now, for some reason, Octagon was behaving oddly. earlier today, and I could not add -5 tokens and things to my deck in the deck builder. I don't know why. It has worked seamlessly every other time, but recently, just tonight, it wasn't allowing me to do this, so I'm just adding the tokens manually. Alright, let's see how Diana does against this sucker. We'll go grab, just for consistency's sake, we will grab another copy of Amnesia and throw that in our deck as our weakness this time. And we will go get our Untamed Wilds. A scenario I actually like quite a bit of the Forgotten Age scenarios. The Forgotten Age and I have a very strange... What is that Witch Haunted Wood for? Why is that there? That is very strange. That should be an expedition. I must be getting conflicts in my octagon. That should be the expedition. Maybe the... let's see. I'm in some trouble here now. There is an expedition camp. I wonder why it's doing that. Oh, it's giving me... It says it's a witch-haunted woods. Oh, I'm getting these conflicts. Alright, we know it's an exhibition. We know it's an expedition camp. Hopefully there are no other cards that are corrupted in this deck. I'm just going to take a quick look at the... no corrupted cards there. And none there. So, okay, just for some reason I have a Witch Haunted Woods as an expedition camp. Okay. Everybody else goes over here. See if I can remember how to play this one. I haven't played it in a while. We need to hide the expedition, shuffle that up, shuffle this up, and we're ready to go. All right, let's draw our opening hand, see how we do. We have got Deny Existence, David Renfield, Vicious Blow, Dark Prophecy, and Emergency Cash. Lots of resources. David Renfield is a keeper for sure. Deny Existence, Vicious Blow isn't going to help us without a knife. Actually, we may want to keep that. That's a tough one. Dark Prophecy too. What? That's a 0, and that's a -2. What's Diana's chances of getting poisoned? She's a 3. That's not bad. I don't have a lot of agility icons in my deck. I'm gonna mulligan through. Man, I kind of want to keep that Vicious Blow just in case, but that means I only get 2 cards instead of 3. All right, there's a Shriveling, Alyssa, and a Perception. I think we're in trouble already. I just need to check something very quickly here, because I can't honestly remember what the expedition camp does. I've actually found David Renfield quite helpful in dealing with the resource. I find Mystics are just so resource starved that I need all the resources that I can get my hands on, and I've actually used him to good effect in a couple of plays so far, because he does die quite easily. Let's see, Expedition Camp doesn't have any clues on it. It's just the map, right? And we're not playing with any. We are not playing with any supplies. Okay, well, we're ready to go. This Wish Haunted Woods is an expedition camp. I'm gonna have to go figure out why I'm getting all these conflicts. Must have the same, maybe it has the same number or name as the as another card. 3 actions. We can cancel stuff out of the expedition deck. So we might as well. We have 1 willpower and 3 agility. Let's play an Alyssa, or do we want David instead? I think we want David instead. Oops, too many. Let's take David instead. We can exhaust him and place a doom on him to gain a resource. Our willpower also goes up by 1. We can play Shriveling for 3. And then we can play, we will go Explore. Shuffle up, let's see what we do. We get low on supplies. Lose 2 resources. Take a damage. Chooses an asset we can know. We're not doing that. We'll just take a damage, I guess. And that goes here. All right. So 1 Explorer out of the way. Drew a Treachery. That was the investigation phase. No enemies to speak of. Go to upkeep, we draw a Flashlight. And we draw... Oh, we can put that actually on David. That's the way. Just so we can kill him. And we're ready for Mythos phase. 2 of 6, encounter card. Well, now we're at 3 of 6 with that Ancient Evils. And that was that. Quick and easy. We might as well. We can probably use. Let me see. Add a Doom. We're at 4. We go to 5. Use a Doom. I replace him with a. Yeah, I can do it. I think. Add a Doom. We gain 2 resources. That was a free action. Let's go exploring. First card is Lost in the Wilds. Test 3 willpower. If you fail, take 1 horror for each point you fail by, and add Lost in the Wilds to your threat area. So Deny Existence will prevent the horror loss, but it does not prevent it from getting into our threat area. So we are a 2 versus 3. Long odds. Chaos Bag gives us a tentacle right off the bat. So first auto fail of the game. That will go into our threat area. I'm going to deny existence that. Horror. So we don't take the whole, like we would take 3 horror, but we're not taking any horror because of deny existence. And then, but we can't explore anymore. Well, so we could draw a couple cards. Yeah, let's draw a couple. There's a gun. There's a ward. All right. End of your turn, we discard that. So that was the investigation phase. No enemies. Upkeep. We draw. We get it prepared for the worst. We are going to go to 5 of 6 Doom. And we're going to draw an encounter card, which is the Pit Viper. Pit Viper. Nasty. Okay, what we could do... do we Dark Insight the Pit Viper? Did I draw for that when I don't think I did. I should have drawn a card and gained a resource there. Okay, we're back. Now we have a choice. Do we Dark Insight the Pit Viper? Or do we... That's really our only option. Pit Viper is 3 versus 3 to kill it. We can't really use Shriveling to kill it. There's far worse though. There's that Boa Constrictor. He's worse. He's worse than a Pit Viper. I think I'd rather deal with wait for him. Oh, and there's the Serpent of Yoth. Yeah, I forgot about that guy. He is even worse news. So we will we'll take the Pit Viper, I guess. We can try to kill him. Deals damage. He will poison us. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, so we gain our 3 actions. We will use Renfield one last time because we're going to get rid of him. He takes a Doom, and we gain 3 resources. We would be advancing this turn, but we are going to kill him somehow, some way this turn, even if we have to overwrite him with Alyssa. We are 3 versus 3 with the Pit Viper. Skulls are still 0s though, and that's a -2. So do we have? What do we have? We just have the 1. If we take... I really don't want to be poisoned. I could kill David off with that. We're just going to take a swing at the Pit Viper and commit the prepared for the worst. Let's see what the Chaos Bag has to say about that. -1. Good enough. We are 3-3. Pit Viper dies. It goes to the victory display. And we have a Vengeance. That was our first action. Second action, we will overwrite. We will send David off and play Alyssa. Prefer to have her now. And that's second action, so we might as well go do some exploring. So far we haven't found anything. There's the rope bridge. Is it fair game? Oh, I gotta look it up here. Stupid cards. Yes, the rope bridge is fair game. The rope bridge is fair game. Alright. 2 shroud location with 1 clue. So we killed the Pit Viper, played Alyssa, explored. So when we attempt to explore at the rope bridge, we've got to test agility 2, and if we fail, we take 2 damage and move to the river canyon. It's also got 1 clue. We are currently a 4 with Alyssa in play. We've also got a flashlight we could use. Might want to get that down next turn. So we go to the enemy phase, nothing going on there. We draw a vicious blow. We will add a doom, 4 of 6, and we get... We are surrounded by pit vipers. We killed 1 and we drew 1. I guess I would have known that if I had used Alyssa this turn like I should have. But I don't think I would place a doom on her to get rid of the pit viper. So we have 3 actions again. This is it's just one of these slow scenarios where it just feels like you are trudging through the jungle as you try to get these locations on the table, as you are attacked and go missing and deal with every treachery in the exploration deck. I guess we'll fight it. 3/3. Skulls are -1s now, so they're slightly worse. 3/3 is bad. Oh, maybe I should have Dark Insight. Dark Insight doesn't do us any good if we draw the boa, though, or the serpent, or anything worse. I could Vicious Blow. Shriveling, we're down to 2. Yeah, let's Vicious Blow. Hate to waste it on a snake, but 4 versus 3. -2. Shoot. Well, that didn't pay off. So now we'll go 3 versus 3. And we get an auto fail. Oh no, it's just -2. Oh, we're gonna get poisoned. We're gonna get poisoned. Come on. 3 versus 3. Oh, we pull the clutch Elder Sign. Oh, thank goodness. +2, and he is defeated. Do we pull the Deny Existence back? No, I think we leave it where it is. We need to start getting our willpower up to use that Shriveling. That was our turn, though. We spent our whole turn just trying to kill a damn Viper. There'll be... I just want to save that Dark Insight because there's far worse in the deck. That was the investigation, no enemies, upkeep. We get another David Renfield. I think David has... David did his work for us. He gained us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resources. So he certainly... net gain of 4, so that's pretty good. Happy with that. And he took some damage for us. We are ready to go to the 5 of 6, and there's an Ancient Evils, which will advance us. Do we want to advance us? Because we add more enemies to the deck. Or we can take a horror and cancel it. We're going to cancel that. We will take a horror on Diana. And we will cancel that. Doom. We have to gain a resource and draw a card. There's an emergency cache. Well, thanks to David, we have enough resources, I think, for the time being. What we can do now... exploring from the rope bridge is not in our best interests. Although if we fail, we do get the river canyon right away, I kind of like the sound of. 2 damage is harsh, but first action we're going to bring out our flashlight. That will have 3 supplies. And second action, we'll use the flashlight to investigate. We get -2, but it's a 0, so it doesn't matter. We do get get the clue. And we will now explore. Is it worth taking 2 damage? I mean, we could pass. 3 versus 2, it is a possibility, although the skulls are -2s now. Skull, of course. We draw a skull and they are -2s, so we fail, we take 2 damage, but we do get the river canyon out, where we can heal 1, I believe. River canyon. So we move to the river canyon, 4 shroud location with 1 clue, and it does let us heal a damage there. So that's nice. We can heal 1 of the damage that after we fell off the rope bridge. That is the investigation phase. No enemies, upkeep. We draw another emergency cache, and we will add a doom. 6 of 6, we advance. We advance to the Serpent's Attack, shuffle the encounter discard pile and the set-aside Agents of Yig encounter set into the deck. I believe these are the Agents of Yig. That they are. We will move all those to the encounter deck. Shuffle these all into the encounter deck. We test 3. And if we fail, we will be poisoned. Don't like that. We are just a 3, aren't we? 3 versus 3. I really don't want to be poisoned. Fortunately, we don't really have anything we can do about that. We could pitch one to it, but that's not going to be really enough. So we'll just take it straight up. 3/3, and we get a +1. Amazing. Well, that makes up somewhat for the for that tentacle last game. So we don't get poisoned by some miracle, and we advance to Agenda 2A. Keep exploring. We've got 9 doom. Draw an encounter card. There is a Brood of Yig. He is 4 fight because we have got 2 vengeance in the victory display. He's easy enough to evade, but killing him is going to be more difficult. All right, well, let's let us go to get our 3 actions. We need to, our odds of killing this Brood of Yig are very slim. Maybe I should cancel that with Dark Insight. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. We will cancel that with Dark Insight when we draw him to shuffle him back in. Starting to get tired. It's late here. Felt like playing some Arkham Horror. Figured I would stream. So we will finish this game off, and I think that will be a nice little couple games there. So we do gain a resource. Did we spend 2 resources? Yes, we did. So we get 1 back, and we draw a card. Get a dodge. Okay, that'll be helpful. And our willpower goes up to 4. So now our shriveling is starting to come online. We are 4 versus 4 here. We can spend a supply token on our flashlight to go 4 versus 2. We get a 0, so we do grab this clue. We're still 1 clue away from meeting Ichitaka. So we need to find another location, which means more exploring. Let's do that. Let's play smart. Why do I have a doom on her? Must have taken a horror. Let's use Alyssa to look at the top card of this deck. What is it? It is a low on supplies, so we'll lose 2 resources. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's do some exploring. We go to the Circuitous Trail. Okay, that is fair game. That's bad, though. It's very expensive to... it's an additional cost to investigate or explore here. Check your supplies. If you don't have a compass, you must spend 3 resources. So we add a... Okay, so we're setting up here. What we can do... We can spend 3 resources to investigate this location with our flashlight and still have enough to pay for the low on supplies. So that lowers its shroud value to 0. Chaos Bag says 0. So we gain a clue. Okay, now we've got the clues to bring out Ichitaka. We don't have the Serpent's Haven, though, which is the location we really need to... Actually, no, Serpent's Haven will get us there too, won't it? Or Circuitous Trail will get us there too, I think. Yes, it will. Where else does it go? That one's out, that one's out. So really, actually being at Circuitous Trail isn't too bad. We have 2 emergency cash we can use. It's just the explorers will get expensive. But it will get us where we need to go. So we will wait until the end of the enemy phase. We'll wait for that player window at the end of the enemy phase, and then we will advance the act. Spend our 3 resources. We flip that over. We put the set-aside Ichitaka enemy into play in the lead investigator's location. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Okay, well there goes our low on supplies, but that's okay because we need these resources if we're going to try to find the ruins of Estley from the Circuitous Trail. And so that's that. Now we need to make friends with her or kill her. We are currently she has 5 fight and to our 4, so not very good there. Or it's an intellect 4. We are 4, and we have a perception and a David Renfield we can pitch to the test. So I think that's our play there. That was the end of the enemy phase. We go to the upkeep. We draw a machete. Okay, so we've got a couple of options as far as weapons go. Feel like I need more combat skill icons in this deck to really leverage some of these guardian weapons. I just don't have quite enough at the moment. I don't have enough icons to make them really effective, especially when the Chaos Bag numbers start to rise. Okay, that was upkeep, so we add a Doom. 1 of 9, and we draw... Oh, we gotta shuffle the discard pile. There was nothing in there. Okay, so that's fine. We still have to shuffle the deck, though, I think. We'll shuffle it anyway. I'm not sure if you shuffle it if you don't have to if there are no cards to shuffle, but it's late. There's a Brood of Yig. That's going to be our enemy this phase. Okay, well, we can still parlay with Ichtaka without taking an attack of opportunity. So we will use our first action to do that. We will parlay to try to persuade her we're not her enemy. We'll commit the Perception and the David Renfield. So we are 4, 5, 6, 7. That takes the skulls and that out of the bag. Chaos Bag says -3. Ooh, that was close. Glad we committed those cards. Just enough. Just enough to persuade Ichtaka we are not an enemy. We draw a card. There's a Steadfast. That might actually be good. That's got 3 icons on it. So we have persuaded Ichtaka she is our friend. So we will add her to the victory display, and then we advance. So we put a clue on her. We remember she's leading the way. We have to add a cultist token to the Chaos Bag. Let's do that now. This guy. So that goes into the bag. And shuffle the set aside ruin locations into the deck. Okay. So the victory is in the exploration deck. We also have a Drawn to the Flame that we can use when we hit the Ruins of Estley to investigate it quickly. We've got 2 actions remaining. We advance to the final act. We need 3 clues. So we're going to need to go to 2 locations. That's interesting. Maybe we go back to the River Canyon and try to find Serpent's Haven. Problem is there's a lot of... well, there's only 2 locations we can draw at River Canyon. We need to deal with this chump, though, first. Brood of Yig. He's a 4. We're a 4. We have a Steadfast. That will give us... we have more than, I think... more than 10, 14 minus 2, 12. So it's a triple. That will get us part of the way there. Let's see what Alyssa has to say. Let's see what this card is. It's an Overgrowth. Okay. That's okay. If we're not planning to explore from this location, we don't really care. So that would be okay to draw here, and then we could go back to River Canyon and try to get through Serpent's Haven and go that way, because that will give us victory points and more clues that we need in order, because we need 3. So let's commit our steadfast to this. That will, and we spend a shriveling token, so we are a 7 versus 4. Chaos Bag gives us a cultist. X is the number of locations in play. It's a -4. Does that miss? Oh, that misses. Oh, can't believe that. That's a failure with 4 locations in play. So we take a horror. Well, that sucked. Yeah. Go 4 versus 4 again, but that doesn't... the Chaos Bag isn't really... There's a lot of zeros. We might be able to do it. Pretty low odds, though. Yeah, let's try it. 4/4. -2. And we take another horror. Gee whiz. Oh, okay. Not good. Not good at all. Alright, well, that didn't go quite as planned. We are going to take an attack, which I will dodge. Let's go to the enemy phase here. He attacks, we dodge, we gain a resource and a card. St. Hubert's Key, that gets us another willpower. We are at 5. 5. So if we got to 6, there's another drawn to the flame. Okay, well maybe... Yeah, we gotta hit him twice though. God. Hate all the 3 health enemies in this scenario. Not good for shrivelings, that's for sure. Well, we know we're gonna draw an overgrowth here. So that's at least some solace. So we can't explore here. We're not gonna do that anyway. We could take an attack and play St. Hubert's Key, then try to kill him. We'd be 6 versus 4. Yeah, I think we do that. We take an attack of opportunity to play our St. Hubert's Key. That gets us another willpower. So now we're 6 versus 4. We've got 2 actions remaining. 1 action, we will try to shoot this guy. 6 versus 4. Oh, there's the -5. Blast. Not going our way at the moment. -5. At this point, we've wasted 3 shriveling charges trying to hit this guy. Let's just try to evade him. We may need that gun yet. Oh, we've got a machete. That's probably easier. Let's go. We'll commit the gun. We'll go 4 versus 2 to evade. -2. So we do evade. All right. Well. Enemy phase, nothing happens. Upkeep, we draw a machete and we re-engage with this guy. Let's add a doom. 3 of 9. We are running out of time. We draw the Estley Guardian. Ah, good. he is A-okay. He can hang out here at the expedition camp, or the witch-haunted expedition camp, as it is tonight. He doesn't matter because of this agenda, or this act. We get to ignore him. He cannot attack us. So that's okay. Let us check with Alyssa what the encounter deck holds for us. Alyssa says we're going to get a low on supplies. Okay. What do we could evade. We go 3 versus 2. Let's evade. Get a 0. Hey, okay, so turn of events. We managed to evade the brood. Let's move. And let's go exploring. We shuffled this. Alright, so we want Serpent's Haven. That is what we are looking for. But we get the Path of Thorns instead. Alright. Path of Thorns, 3 shroud location with 1 clue. After we fail the skill test while investigating, we take a damage. And after you explore and we fail, we take a damage. So we take damage all around. That doesn't really do us much good because it doesn't get us where we need to go. Actually, it will get us to Serpent's Haven and the squiggly line place, whatever that is. Unfortunately, we are out of flashlight charges. We could use a Drawn to the Flame. We have 2. I don't want to draw the low on supplies. I'd rather draw the low on... Well, let's see. Can't play it anyway right now. So we go to enemy phase. He stays put. He goes there. All right. We drew another Shriveling. Okay, well, maybe we need to bring out that. We have a Shriveling. It's not the charges that's the issue, it's the willpower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we play another Shriveling, but we are running out of time here. 4 of 9. We know we're getting a low on supplies this turn, so we will lose the 2 resources. That just gets deleted. Let's see what the encounter deck holds. It is Creeping Poison. So we are not poisoned, so it will simply surge. So if we draw into the flame now, we'd get a clue and then it would surge. We'd skip 1 card, but then we'd surge into another. We are a 4, actually we're 5. Because we have Alyssa and the St. Hubert's Key out. 5 versus 3. Is that good enough? Skulls are -2. Yeah, I think so. Let's investigate. Skulls are -2, and we get a skull. So that is okay. We managed to investigate, and we do not fail. We only have 2 cards in the 2 Vengeance. Yeah. Okay, so we get a clue. We do not fail, so we don't take a damage. Now, the problem is if we explore from there, we could fail. Do we explore here? We could take a damage. could either get to Squiggly Line or Serpent's Haven. Could end up taking 2 damage. Yeah, let's just explore. We're just gonna go for broke at this point. I don't know if the odds favor us, but so we will explore. There's an overgrowth. Well, that puts the end to that. And we take a damage. Can we break it? We are a 6. Are we? No, we're a 5 versus 4 to hack through the jungle. Is this guy coming after us this turn? No, he is not. So we could take a turn to hack through the jungle. It's 5 versus 4. Have anything to pitch? No. -3. No good. Okay, well, enemy phase. This guy will move over here. And I guess he could move to the rope bridge, but the rope bridge is not connected to us. So he will go here instead. Enemy phase upkeep. We draw a vicious blow. Okay. It's just a matter of drawing the... It's just a matter of the polls. We're at 5 of 9. We get the creeping poison. We get another Etsley Guardian. Okay, so we get a freebie from the encounter deck that turn. Unfortunately, we still have this chump to deal with, and we can't kill him this turn. He could kill Alyssa, though, for us. Since we've got drawn to the flame, we don't really need her anymore. What do we put down? We play Emergency Cash for 3, Machete. Yeah, I think that's what we do. We do Emergency Cash for 3. We Machete for 3. Whoops. And then we move. He engages us. During the enemy phase, he will attack us and kill Alyssa. Upkeep, we get a 45 automatic. Okay. And we will we go to the mythos. 6 of 9. I don't know. Not looking good. I mean, we're better off resigning at the expedition camp if we have to, rather than take a trauma. We get a Lost in the Wild. Well, we are ready for this one because we have 6 willpower now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 versus 3. I like those odds. Elder Sign, nice. Okay, we can pull a card back. I think I pull the dodge back. And then we will attack this guy with our machete this time. So we will go, we are 4, 5, 6, and we're hitting for 3 damage. So 6 versus 4. That's as... do we play that extra shriveling? 6. It's -2, -2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, we're fine. We drew an elder thing, so that's a -2. If you're poisoned, you fail automatically, but we're not poisoned. So we hit him for 3 damage, and he dies. Okay, that worked out. We may be able to do this yet. We need 2 clues. We need to be at the ruins to get the requisite number of clues. So let's explore. There's the Temple of the Fang. We're not connected to that. There's the Overgrown Place. We're not connected to that. Come on, give me Serpent's Haven. Oh, damn it. Get this stupid snake bite. Well, what's left in here? Can't remember. There's 3, 4 locations in there. So if we can get through the snake bite, so we're probably going to take a direct damage here. I should have, yeah, I thought the dodge would be good just because of enemies, but the deny existence or the dark insight would have been much better. Yeah, that was a mistake. All right, well, or even the word of protection would have been better. So now we are going to test 3 versus 3. We can go... we can go that. Let's pitch it. We might as well. We're going 3, 4, 5 versus 3. We get another elder thing, so we pass. Okay, so we're not poisoned still. We're hanging on. Let's go exploring again. We need to shuffle this deck. And... oh, arrows from the trees doesn't hurt us. We ignore it. Okay, so we've cleared... There are only 4 locations in the exploration deck now. We know that. We've cleared it. They cannot... so that was the investigation phase. No enemies. Upkeep. We draw Dark Prophecy. So that could get us a -2 or a -5 or an auto fail. But we could stack it beneath her. Let's go Mythos 7 of 9. Are we going to have time? Explore, explore. Drawn to the flame. We get creeping poison. We are not poisoned. And we get... oh, that changes things. That changes things. So we drew we draw the ancient evils. So that's that. Yeah, we almost did it. The best we can do... I can't remember what the Serpent's Haven is connected to. That's the problem. Because if we explore, we're going to get Serpent's Haven. We go to Serpent's Haven. We explore at Serpent's Haven. We have a chance to get the ruins. Get to the ruins. Play Drawn to the Flame. As long as we don't die, we can do it. Okay. So if I was to play it safe here, I would probably just go resign at the Witch Haunted Expedition site. But I'm just going to see what happens here just for kicks. We are going to play this out and see if we can't beat it this turn. Odds are, I don't know. I don't know what the odds are, to be honest. I'm not, don't have my calculator handy. But there are only 4 locations in the exploration deck. There's the ruins. We can't go there. There's Serpent's Haven, so we knew we were going to get there. So it's got 2 clues. It is connected to, yeah, it's connected to 2 locations. So we have basically a 1 in 3 chance of pulling the right card. There's 1 good one, 1 bad one, and 1 that doesn't do anything. Let's see what happens. We will explore again. Oh, we got it. Unbelievable. So we pull the Ruins of Estley. We move there. We should have an action left. Because we explored. That moves us. Explored moves us. 2 clues on the Ruins of Estley. After you fail a skill test while investigating, we're not going to bother with that. We are going to just play our Drawn to the Flame. Grab 2 clues. We have to draw an encounter card, which is a Curse of Yig. -1 health. That's fine. And we're the game of Serpentine. So we win. We get to the Ruins of Estley, then we just spend 3. We spend the requisite number of clues to advance. Okay, well, going for it in that instance paid off because we were able to beat the scenario. Not great odds there at the end, though, because we could have easily drawn, I believe it's Temple of the Fang is the other one. Yeah, Temple of the Fang. We could have drawn Temple of the Fang. If we drawn Temple of the Fang, we end up going down to defeat, which is not great, obviously. But hey, we took a risk. We managed to pull out a victory there, which was surprising considering I thought we were definitely out of time there as that doom started to tick up. If we hadn't drawn that Ancient Evils, we would have had 2 turns, in which case I would have definitely have gone for it. Because even then, if we pulled the Temple of the Fang, we could have had time to run back and then pull the Ruins of Estley and still win. But I don't know, that's a really tough call. I'm honestly don't know what to say in that sort of situation. I mean, the more conservative player in me would have probably just gone back to the expedition camp and resigned and taken my victory points and avoided the trauma that early in the campaign. But yeah, we see how it went, and turned out that it worked out for us in this this case. And so yeah, thank you very much to everyone who tuned out to this impromptu stream. If you enjoy it, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know. I'm hoping to do more streams in the future. I do tend to play a lot, and if I'm going to play, I might as well play on stream so everyone can benefit. I always find it helpful to talk these sort of things through, talk out some of the difficult situations that you can run into during these games, and hopefully that will help your play as well. Thanks to Ben for tuning in, as well as Voland, as well as everybody else who isn't in the chat. I can't see your name, but I see your number there, so thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. I am going to go to bed because it is very late and I'm starting to get tired. And when you get tired and try to play this game, you just make a bunch of mistakes. And I hate making mistakes when I play. So if you're tuning in, just to let you know, I should have. I do like this deck, and I'm going to be playing it through the Circle Undone. I was hoping to bring you blind playthroughs of the Witching Hour and at Death's Doorstep or Doorway. Unfortunately, I did try to record a blind playthrough of the Witching Hour. I believe it was Friday, and technical issues as well as just play mistakes unfortunately ruined that playthrough. So I will be that will not be a blind playthrough. However, hopefully I will be able to play through Death's Door or at Death's Door. It's late. At Death's Door, and we will do that successfully. Also, in case you missed it on Facebook, I am participating in the Great Old Ones Gaming podcast. We recorded our second episode this evening, so it should be going up within probably tomorrow or the next day or two. So check that out. That's it has Lost in Time and Space. That's Nate. It has Innkeeper Vase Odin from the Twisted Tentacle Inn, and Nathan Early, who does a lot of posts a lot of pictures of his plays, which are very elaborate. He really pimps out his game, and also he is involved in a lot of custom scenarios and content like that, and he promotes it in the community. And we just sit down and we just chat about the Arkham Horror LCG. So if you can't get enough Arkham Horror LCG content, make sure you check out Great Old Ones Gaming. I'll be posting a link probably in the description of this video if you want to go check it out, and I would encourage you to do so. I am going to hit the sack now. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in, and I will see you again shortly here on The Whisper in Darkness. So until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.